is Schuller, and this is my Honors Academy Senior Project, creating a children's book. I hope you like it. The name of the book I created is called Eva's Birthday Surprise. It is Eva's birthday. I wonder what she will see. She looked for presents in the closet. Nothing there. She looked for a present under the bed. Nothing there. She looked for a cake in the kitchen. Nothing there. She looked for her friends in the living room. Nobody here. Where could everyone be? Surprise! Happy birthday. The end. When you are given an opportunity to create whatever you want, there seems to be endless possibilities. This is what I was thinking when it came time to pick my topic for my Honors Academy Senior Project. I knew I wanted to create something visual, and this led to me writing and illustrating a children's book. I had to research what age group I wanted to do a book for because the age group determines the length of the book, the protagonist, the plot, the character arc, the language, and the theme. The book you write for a 12-year-old is much more complex than the book you write for an infant. When a child is younger, their parents will most likely read the book to them, and the illustrations are very important. But when they get older, children read on their own, and the words become more important. Because I wanted to focus on visuals, I chose the age group from 3 to 8. This allowed me to base most of my story on the drawings. The biggest challenge I found in creating a book for such a young audience was in simplifying the wording. My first draft of the book was rhyming, but was too wordy for children. I revised it to make it more interactive and simple. One of the books that inspired my writing was No David by David Shannon. I liked the way it repeated a short phrase that children would remember and could repeat as the book was read. My research was probably more fun than most. The first research I did was reading all of my favorite childhood books and studying how they used language and pictures to make reading them enjoyable. This helped me gain ideas for how I wanted my book to sound and look. I liked books where the settings looked like they were sketched, and you could see the shading. This led to me using colored pencils to create my illustrations. I also liked books where there was something hidden in the background that children could look for, like the I Spy books. This led me to creating a search and find book. I wanted my book to be relatable to children, so I was trying to think of what I thought was exciting when I was younger or was exciting to my young cousins. I chose a book centered around a girl on her birthday looking for her expected birthday party. This book shows cause and effect through the repetition of settings before and after the main character searches through them. It lets the children reading the book look with the main character and finding the objects being looked for on each page. I tried to make the book as interactive as I could so children would want to read it more than once. The first writing I did was just listing things that the main character could find that would be recognizable by children. Balloons, cake, presents, and people are all things that children can visualize. Then, I practiced drawing each thing in different ways to see what version of each I liked the best. I settled on a more three-dimensional looking style for the presents and cake, and a more two-dimensional version of the balloons. After I finished the script, I started doing more finalized drawings. I started by sketching each page in pencil. The biggest challenge in this area was in making each of the before and after shots of the room. They had to look like the same room for the book to make sense, so I had to do a lot of measuring and redraws to make them look the same. I chose to draw rooms in the house that I thought a child would recognize: a bedroom, kitchen, living room, and closet, so that children would understand where the main character was and what they were searching for. I made it so that the objects that were being searched for were always out of sight for the small main character, like they would be for a child, but visible to the children reading the story. This was to help show the story from a child's point of view and hopefully teach a lesson to the children reading it about how to search for things. The part of this process that took the longest was the coloring. I was constantly coloring. Some of the challenges I faced were in making the before and after shots of the rooms to look the same, and in coloring the people in the story. Making the shading and coloring of each of the before and after pages took a lot of time to get right, and many redraws. I think I used up over 50 colored pencils. Drawing the people was hard because I've only drawn people realistically, and not as cartoonish as the book required. I knew that the main character needed to look the same throughout the entire book, so I chose to always show her from the back because I was not confident in being able to draw the same face multiple times. I think it also helped add to the book because you get to see the joy in the main character's face and the ending, and it brings the book all together. Another large part of my research was how to get my book published. There are 2 ways to get published. You can use a traditional publisher, or you can self-publish. The steps to get traditionally published are: know your market, refine your manuscript, find a children's book agent, and submit directly to publishers. Knowing the market and refining my manuscript are things that I've already done by reading children's books and researching what type of book to make. Finding agents and publishers are things that I may pursue in the future in order to get my book published, but I was not able to do that in time for this project because the waiting period and publishing time can be anywhere from 3 months to over 2 years. Because of this long time period of waiting, many authors self-publish. Steps for self-publishing are: perfect your manuscript with an editor, find an illustrator, get a book designer, choose a printer and distributor, and work the libraries. My manuscript would still need to be seen by an editor, but I would not need to see an illustrator because I have already illustrated the book. A book designer determines the font and page layout of the book, but because I've already chosen the layout for my book, I would not have to meet with them either. Some of the cons of this form of publishing are that you do not get paid until your book sells, and a lot of the money is put into the publishing process. Working the libraries means going out and doing book readings as well as other advertising to promote your book. This can also be expensive. Because of the waiting time and cost of getting published, my book was put together on Shutterfly by using one of their photo books. Now I have a hard copy of the book I created. The finished book. Now I'm going to break down the book, page by page, and describe some of the details in each picture. I chose a simple design for the cover, using the pink color that the protagonist is seen in throughout the book. I chose the title, Eva's Birthday Surprise, because for children's books, it is important for kids to know what the book is about based on the title. That way they remember it. The first page is the exposition of the book. The character, background, and purpose of the book are all introduced here. The main character is Eva. It is her birthday, and she's going to see things related to her birthday. Many of the things in Eva's bedroom are things that were in my room when I was little. I even had the giant fluffy pink comforter. If you look closely at the calendar, there's a birthday cake on the next day. And if you look at the pink chair in the left corner, there is a hidden present. This page is the first problem Eva meets. This page sets up the pattern that most of the other pages follow. The main character is searching for something, misses it, and leaves a gigantic mess. At the top of the closet, you can see the hidden present. In this page, the main character is again in her bedroom, and missing the obvious present on top of her bed. Many of the objects seen all over the floor in the after picture were also things that were in my room when I was little. This was my favorite page to draw because of the tile flooring. On this page, the hidden object is the cake on the counter. On this page, it was challenging to find a place to hide people in the house, so I made the hidden friends be outside the window. The main character again misses them and creates a mess. These pages were also fun to make. I enjoyed drawing the outside of the house and the giant windows. If you look at the table in the outside picture, you can see all of the objects Eva was looking for throughout the book. There is a blue present from the first page, the pink present from the closet, the dollhouse from a room, the cake from the kitchen, and the friends from the living room. This page was the hardest to draw because it was difficult to draw the main character's face in the same style as the rest of the book and not make it look creepy. This is the first time we see the main character's face, and this type of ending with the main character smiling is common in children's books. If I were to do this project again and start from scratch, some of the things I would change are how I colored my illustrations and how I did the text. From what I know now, my creation process could have been a lot faster. While I enjoyed the shading that colored pencils allowed me to have, I found out that the same effect can be created by shading with a normal pencil and then using some of the highlighter features and notability. This would have been a faster and cleaner way to color the pages because it would have prevented smudging and made the pages look more like faster. And while I did like the hand-drawn text, it would also have been faster and probably look nicer if I had typed the wording onto the pages. This could have been done on Shutterfly, but I was not aware of this until after the wording was already on the pages. These changes would have made the book look more professionally done, but I think the style of coloring and text I use sets my book apart and gives it character. The end. To my mentor, Mrs. Behe, for all the help she has given me throughout this entire process, from wording the book to putting it together. Thank you to Mrs. Erdos for all my Honors Academy experiences. Thank you to my parents for reading me all those children's books when I was little. I thank God for this opportunity and the gifts that He has given me. And I thank you for listening to my Honors Academy project. I hope you liked it and know a little bit more about creating a children's book because of it. Thank you.
Hi, Olivia. I wanted to say how proud I am of you and your Honors Academy project. It has been so much fun watching you work through this project, figure out the pages, the coloring, the words. It's been amazing. The best thing about working with students is seeing that aha moment, and it has just been so fun and so rewarding. I cannot wait to read your book to my son. Thanks. Good job. Keep up the good work.